Hello everyone, Parallel here, and welcome to Blade and Soul. Well, I've been grinding away with the newly released Soul Fighter class. It was released a few days ago, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a video and show off some of the abilities that you get as you level up, and also go into the spec that I've been using, and maybe show a few combos and some abilities, some tips to help you grind a little bit faster as you're leveling up. And also show the spec that I've been using and a little bit of gameplay. And as I'm questing here, I am actually up to level 34. So let's go ahead and jump right in here. So first thing, why don't I go ahead and might as well show the spec that I've been using here. It is basically an Earth spec. And there are quite a few nice things you probably want to pick up right away. So first things first, your left click straight jab. I put 2 points in here, basically just to get the extra 1 recovery from a crit hit, which is nice because focus is an issue at lower levels, and your crit rate's not that great, but it does help out. You also are going to want to, on your right click, you're going to want to get a couple points in here to unlock the F ability, which basically when you are in a chi state, you can, after you land your Cobalt Punch, your right click, you also get an F proc, so you can add that ability to your rotation. To be in a chi state, you have to actually land your Iron Shoulder right here, which will grant you 1 chi. As you see, it will increase your chi by 1 on each hit. The chi buff lasts for 10 seconds, so you have to land, if you want to stack the chi up, you're going to have to get an Iron Shoulder, off more than once every 10 seconds. What else do I got here? I did put 2 points into Elbow Smash, which is your block, basically to reduce the cooldown to 3 seconds, because the base cooldown was 9 seconds, and that was quite limiting. I did like to put a point here into the backstep, which adds the ability to switch you to Elemental Stance. Pretty handy to do when you use your backstep. You're then at a range and you can start unloading your ranged abilities. And a few other skills that you get a little bit later. So I just recently unlocked this one right here, Focus Chi. This one is a fantastic, absolutely amazing ability. I put 3 points into it right away. As you can see, it immediately gives you Chi level 5, which immediately unlocks your King's Fist, which I'll show in a second. But it also gives you a massive crit rate and crit damage buff for 10 seconds. So basically it's God mode for 10 seconds, and you can dish out insane amounts of damage. It really helps for even those, taking down those, sort of the bosses in the green instances. Very nice ability there. And then the next one is King's Fist. This one you get early on, but you don't get to make a lot of use of it. Honestly, I didn't get to make a lot of use of it until you unlock Focus Chi. Because it's pretty hard to stack up 5 levels of Chi with a low crit rate, and at this level when moms don't last that long. But now with Focus Chi, it puts you right at 5, and then you can immediately do a King's Fist, which is amazing. It does a ton of damage here. I put just 1 point into it for the penetration there, defense penetration. So those are the things that you want to focus on in Kung Fu Stance. Oh wait, there's one other ability that you get. I don't remember exactly what level it was. It's pretty recently though, around level 30 maybe, was your number 3, which is your Ground Ripple, which is an AoE stun, which is actually nice because this actually unlocks your air combo ability, which is pretty cool. And when you're in your Elemental Stance, that's also a Frost Nova, which is an AoE Daze. Again, very cool. Now, speaking of Elemental Stance, I do want to show kind of a really good AoE grinding combo you can use. Again, you'll need to be, into your 30s before you'll have enough skill points to do it. But basically, it revolves around using your... I have this rebound to R, but it's actually your V ability, which is Burning Tundra. If you spec it here to stage 3, tier 2, it turns it into a whirlwind ability that sucks in enemies, which is very nice. But what actually that does is it synergizes with your right click in Elemental Stance here, which is If you go to stage 3 for this one, it actually turns your snowball into Ripple Punch. So you basically, and this is an AoE ranged ability, kind of a frontal, you can see there it has a 2x16 meter, so it's a kind of a frontal, not a cone, but just a frontal line ability that goes out. Basically you whirlwind them all in, and then you Ripple Punch them to death. It works really well. And Ripple Punch is kind of, you can even see in the skill description that it kind of synergizes with Whirlwind, does extra damage on enemies in there, and increases your attack speed for enemies within the Whirlwind range. You can actually spam this really fast and burn down AoEs really good. So the way I've been playing it is kind of in your Kung Fu stance is your single target, sustain abilities, and then you switch to Elemental when you want to AoE stuff down with your Ripple Punch and your Whirlwind. Very nice little combo there. So let's show a little bit of that in action. So I've been questing here. You can see I'm actually in Spirestone Canyons. What is this place? Grimhorn Wilds area. And there's a guy over here I got to take out for a quest. I believe he's got, what? About 11,000 hit points. Okay. So he's kind of, he's like a mini boss named type character. Pretty easy to do, though. Not a actual true boss. But if you want to take this guy down really quickly, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to do my Focus Chi, immediately King's Fist him, and then also another ability, which I didn't show you because you can't really spec into it, but an ability that you get called Dragon Fist, which you can see unlocks after you hit the target with King Fist. This ability is really awesome. The animation is so cool. So you really love this Dragon Fist one. But basically, the combo is you're just going to do your Focus Chi, King's Fist, and then your F. Then once you do that, your F ability will change to Dragon Fist. You just hold that down, and it will absolutely annihilate him, especially with your Focus Chi buff up. So let's see how this goes here. This is going to be quite interesting. So let's do that, and then do this. There we go. So it's basically when you do your Dragon Fist, you basically just go crazy on them and absolutely destroy them. You just unleash a flurry of punches and kicks, and it just takes them out so fast. In fact, that was so fast it was probably even hard to see. But yeah, so that's the combo. Just Z, and then your V, or I have a rebound to R, and then just hold down your F key. It just goes crazy. I'll see if I can show it again on another enemy, but the truth is, you see how fast it took out someone with 11,000 hit points. If they don't have, for regular mobs, it's pretty much overkill. Oh, yeah, and actually, another thing I've noticed while leveling that's pretty cool is Soul Fighters do get the Q and E iframes, pretty similar to Kung Fu Master, but the interesting thing is that they also get the Q and E iframes of Force Master. And you can actually, these are all on different cooldowns. So what you can do is you can actually use your Q and E, then switch to your elemental stance, and then do your Q and E again. So that's actually like 4 iframes. That's pretty sweet. And actually another ability I forgot to mention was Self-Defense Chi. This was also pretty recently unlocked. I don't remember the exact level, unfortunately, but this one is also a iframe. This one is a really good one. It's like a long duration 5-second iframe. And it reminds me pretty similar to like the Summoner iframe or like the Warlock iframe, where it's just straight up invulnerable for 5 seconds, but it does have a really long cooldown. But in your time of need, that's 5 total iframes if you switch stances. So that's really cool. All right, here. Let's see if I can... Well, I'll just switch to elemental stance. Now, I'll just put my whirlwind on these two guys here. See how it sucks them in? And then you can just right-click and take them out with your Ripple Punch. Very effective AoE combo. So there I got a crit, which unlocked my, oh shoot, I forgot the name of that thing. Iron Shoulder, yep. Which unlocked my Iron Shoulder, and that put me in a chi state there for 10 seconds. Pretty hard to maintain that at this low a level with a low crit rate. But once you have that up, it is nice because then it gives you your F proc on your Cobalt Punch. while you're in that chi state. So it's pretty nice. Another little tip that I found is that the elbow smash, your block, can also be used as kind of a gap closer on ranged enemies.
The request is complete.
Okay, my requests are complete, thank you. But like if you have a ranged enemy, you know, when you get a successful block off with elbow smash, you press elbow smash again, it will actually put you right behind the enemy, and it actually will do that even at a quite long range. So let's see if I can take this guy here, if he'll aggro me and shoot something at me. See? Pretty cool that it'll actually, you can kind of use it almost as a gap closer on those ranged enemies if they're like wasting you, you know, from a distance. Just get a successful block off and you'll be able to take them out pretty easy. Another recent combo I got was the ground ripple air launch combo, which is basically you do 3 and then 4. Once they're stunned, 4 will turn into your launcher, and then you can do an F to do a slam. So I can show that real quick. Not a huge fan of air combos for PvE, just because in groups it's pretty annoying, because a lot of people don't have air attacks that'll be able to hit them, so it'll actually reduce your group's DPS. And unfortunately I don't have Windstorm unlocked yet. It looks like it doesn't unlock until level 38. But there's also a really cool air combo you can do with that. Once you launch them up in the air, you can like shoot them with ice blasts. Pretty cool little combo. But yeah, very much liking the class so far. It's a lot of fun. I do like it's a very mobile class. You can, as you can see, you can punch and you can do pretty much your full rotation on the move, which is a nice little bonus. Like, for example, I play Destroyer as one of my mains, and they can't move for squat because they have to be standing still to do their cleave, which basically means that you're very immobile as a Destroyer, at least when you're doing your main rotation. So yeah, the mobility is actually quite nice. But yeah, let me see if I can show you the iframes here. So you can actually, like, let me just aggro this guy. So you can do Q, then your E, then you can switch and do your Q, and then your E, and then you can do your focus defensive chi, which gives you lots of, you know, full 5 seconds of iframe. So there you go, you got 5 iframes. That's pretty pretty slick. Let me see if I can show some of the Frost Nova here. So here's the Frost Nova. Boom, it does daze them. You could do that, and then you could do like... That's the thing, is that your Whirlwind has a very long cooldown. That's the only downside of this combo, is Whirlwind, what is it, 45 seconds or something like that. So yeah, you can't always get your massive AoE damage off just because of how long the cooldown is there. Yeah, and usually when I get that chi stance up, I usually like to keep going, because once it's up, then you keep, while that's, you know, while you have that buff up, you can get your, like right there, you can get your F proc on your Cobalt Punch, so increases your DPS by a decent amount while you're doing it. But yeah, having a lot of fun here. Let's finish up this quest. Do a little bit of fun stuff here. Launch these guys. But I'd say one of the downsides of the class is I've not seen a lot of sustain or a lot of self-healing. Like, very little at all. I do know... There you go. I do know you get this ability here, Chi Burst, which recovers 20% of your party's hit points. And you also get your the AoE res here, Slipping Lotus. Those are pretty late here. Looks like level 42, yeah. So you do get that. That's something, but you know, it's a 1 minute cooldown. It's not really like a sustain, like a life drain, like looking through here, you don't really, like your left click or your right click, I don't really see much sustain here. Like at all. So there's not a lot of just like kind of, you know, regen on your, or lifesteal on your main abilities. But yeah, that Whirlwind and Ripple Punch is a very effective AoE combo. Let's go over here and kill this guy again with the... I just love the animation on that Dragon Fist. That is just so cool. You can see how much damage it was doing there. It was just doing like 1,000. That's, I mean, that's really good for like level 34. Of course, that was while I was in Focus Chi state. But definitely a lot of fun. Alright, and that quest is complete. I think I showed most of what I wanted to do. Definitely enjoying the class a lot. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun class. I've really been enjoying it. I like the mobility. I like the fast-paced attacks. I do have a few concerns, just that, you know, since this is not really a tanky class, and I don't see any abilities along the lines of like blue buff that Assassin or, you know, like Assassin or what's the other one? KFM get that blue buff. There's nothing like Soul Burn in there. So I'm a little concerned that their group utility, other than that AoE heal and the group res, is a little bit on the... Hey, I was trying to do some commentary here. Yeah, anyway, the group utility looks like it might just be a little bit low, because like it looks like that only that yeah, that group heal seems to be like the main thing that you can provide to the group. No group damage buff, nothing like Soul Burn. So it seems to be a pretty low utility class. I think that's probably my one concern. And if that's the case, with this much low utility, I really hope they have, at least an end game, they have a really, really high DPS. Because if they don't bring any of those utility, those amazing group buffs to the game, they're really going to need to hold their own on, you know, for having that really high DPS. They also don't have any other cool group, you know, like group Iframes, like Force Master, or like the Dandelion from Summoners, so they're definitely missing a little bit on the utility side. I think that's the one drawback of the class. But the actual playstyle I love a lot. It's very fast, very mobile. A lot of fun. The stance switching is fun with the AoEing. I'm gonna go kill this guy again just because the Focus Chi is so much fun. Focus Chi. No, let's wait till I go back to the regular stand. But yeah, Focus Chi, King's Fist, and then Dragon Fist. Focus Chi, King's Fist, Dragon Fist. It's a lot of fun. Yes, you do have to channel it for quite a while to get all that, which doesn't always work in the heat of combat, but you know, it's working pretty well for that, you know, for burst. I will say I do notice that a lot of the abilities seem to be positional, which is actually a little bit different. And by positional, I mean you actually have to be behind the enemy. Which is a little bit different in this game. I haven't seen any other abilities from classes, even like... Well, I guess assassins do have the... you do have to be behind the enemy to... you use your... what's the one? The stealth ability for charging in behind the enemy. You do have to be positional for that. But for the most part, there's very few positional abilities in this game, but... I do notice that some of the, like when you spec down straight jab, it'll do more damage from behind the enemy. Also, the Cobalt Punch will do a lot more damage from behind the enemy, and the Breaking Claw, your F proc, will also do it. So it does seem like that is the playstyle of this class will definitely be, they're not a tank by any means. It's basically you're going to want to get behind the enemy and, you know, to be dishing out maximum damage. And that's what I'm hoping, since they have that positional requirement and kind of low group utility. I'm hoping that when they are behind the enemy, they dish out insane amounts of damage. I really hope they do, because they'll, without that group utility, they're going to need that high self DPS. But the playstyle is a lot of fun. So that is level 34, Soul Fighter. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully that's a little bit helpful, showing you a few of the combos that are good for AoE grinding with the Whirlwind and the Ripple Punch. That is an excellent AoE grinding ability. And just some of the other general playstyles. And that Focus Chi is amazing. As soon as you get that ability, you really have an excellent burst. It reminds me a lot of the Destroyer's Fury ability. Alright guys, well, that is pretty much all I wanted to show. Thank you very much for watching. Soul Fighter is actually a lot of fun to play. So I hope you get out there and make one. I will say, leveling this up, I haven't seen quite as many Soul Fighters as I did when I was leveling up, like, Warlock. So I'm thinking Soul Fighter, at least from my impressions, I know it's subjective just from what I've seen here on Mushin server, but I'm thinking it'll probably be one of the lower populated classes, just because it came out so late in the game's life cycle, and I just haven't seen as many of them as I have, you know, during the Warlock leveling event, where they were just everywhere. But maybe that's just me. I did actually see a level 50 Soul Fighter in one of my groups earlier today on my main, so there are definitely people already up to level 50, that's for sure. So I know I'm pretty slow lagging behind at level 34, but hey, I just don't have enough time anymore to put that much time into it. But I am enjoying the class. I will be sticking with it, and look forward to more videos in the future. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Hey guys, just one more thing I wanted to show real quick on the Soul Fighter. I thought I would go ahead and take on the Golden Deva here, just to show off a little bit more of the playstyle and abilities. I don't think it was really shown off very well on those low-level questing mobs. So let's give this guy a try. So he's a little bit harder, so you can see here, what has he got? 112,000 hit points. Let's see what we can do here with a full combo. Let's go in.
Please try again.
Alright, so there we go. I made a few mistakes there just because I'm still not perfect with the Soul Fighter. I did not get completely used to the combo, particularly on longer fights like this, because as you know, leveling up, you don't really get a lot of longer fights. But in particular, the combo that's so effective is once you get off a elbow smash and you can use your freeze ability to immediately get behind him, and then he's frozen in place, then you can do your Focus Chi, King Fist, and then your Dragon Fist, hold on your F, and you can just blow out tons of damage while in that Focus Chi state. That's kind of the key thing there. I also did, in a few cases, I would use my, when he was about to do a spin attack, you do your double jump back, then you're in your elemental stance, then you can throw out your Whirlwind, and then blow away him with some of the Ripple Punches, which also works extremely well, does very good. So it's a very, very fun playstyle. I actually enjoy it a lot. But yeah, just wanted to show it there, a little bit more action with the Golden Deva. Just so you could see it actually a little bit more of the playstyle rather than just destroying some of the easy little quest mobs. All right, that is all. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Bye for now.